Can you describe yourself in just one word?
Oneness.
And one trait every modern man should cultivate.
Masculinity. Fully embrace the masculinity and authenticity. Authenticity means being true to himself, being honest, brutally honest, and true to himself.
What is the biggest misconception about men's work?
That is for weak men. It's a work for weak men.
Folks, you have tuned into TGV and hearty welcome to Guiding Voice podcast series, the world's only quadrilingual podcast at this moment of recording, and we are trying to embark into multiple languages as we speak, and here we embark on transformative conversations for a better future, and we want to simplify and amplify your journey to success. And your host Navin Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place by bringing you wisdom through valuable discussions with experts designed to simplify and amplify your success. And thank you so much for tuning in. So folks, today we are joined by Maurizio Rosini, and we are going to address him as Mauri during the conversation. He is a passionate advocate for men's mental well-being and a leader in redefining masculinity through community. His work emphasizes the need for authenticity, resilience, and meaningful communications. And as an experienced facilitator of men's retreats and circles, Mauri empowers men globally to live fulfilled and purpose-driven lives. And today we are going to delve into an interesting topic at hand, redefining masculinity, the power of authenticity, community, and men's work. But before we get started, here's an exciting twist as always. Let us tickle our guest's brain. So Mauri, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words. I'll mention a few, and I would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. If you're ready, let's get started.
Let's do it.
All right. And here comes the first word, curiosity.
Curiosity, personal growth.
Invention.
Creativity.
Future.
Now.
Universe.
Infinite.
Leadership.
Courage.
Authenticity.
Self-love.
Vulnerability.
Self-awareness.
Transformation.
A must for each human being.
Courage.
Acknowledgement.
Awesome. And the last one is purpose.
Purpose is being true to ourselves.
Awesome. And I love the quick responses, and thank you so much for participating in the first rapid fire round. There is one more rapid fire round towards the end of the episode, so stay tuned and let's get the ball rolling. First of all, Mauri, hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm right now in my home, facing the KL Twin Towers in the middle of Kuala Lumpur. It's a beautiful day, sunny, man. Life is beautiful.
Amazing. And on that note, before we get started, I would like to thank Kairon for connecting us. And thank you, Kairon, for connecting with amazing Mauri. And Mauri, I appreciate you being part of our journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe. And really, it's a pleasure to have you. And let's get the ball rolling. And we'll start with your guiding voice. Talk to us. Who is your guiding voice?
Wow, my guiding voice. That I can get to spiritual. Wow, I would say, there are actually, I believe there are different guiding voice. At this stage of my life, I would say my ancestors and of course God. God is the creation. God is, maybe everybody call it a different name. I call it life. This beautiful infinite journey of evolution. And you said before, what is transformation? And I said to you, it is a must. Because we must to contribute to this immense, beautiful, never-ending evolution. So those are my guiding voices at the moment that I can acknowledge, at least.
Great. And let's also talk about your success mantra, as in, please share with us the top 3 things that have contributed to your success so far.
Resilience, faith, and trust.
Wow. Resilience, faith, and trust. Amazing. And that's also spot on. Also, like Mauri, what does it mean to be a modern man today, and how does this differ from traditional notions of masculinity?
Beautiful question. It can be very, just the topic itself, but I try to make it as much as possible easy and understandable. So, lucky enough, I've been living in many countries in my life. And I've been always seeing, we live, of course, born and raised in Italy. Then I lived in the UK, Japan, USA, Colombia, back to Europe, and then now in beautiful Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And I always seen the pattern in the modern man. The struggles, the silent struggle of not being able to acknowledge the suffering, not being able to share the suffering with other fellow men, or either with the spouses, wives, kids, and colleagues and buddies. There is a substantial difference between our ancestors. They were used to live in tribes and being gathered and risk their own life to go out in the nature and hunt the animals to bring them back home and supply and deliver to the family. Right now, the modern man, it is a man that is not facing anymore any kind of discomfort, let's say. A man who most of the time worked 40 hours a week, 9 to 5 at the office in front of a laptop. So a man is not leveraging his physicality. The only struggles that he going through are the pressure of the society, of the at times religion, of the family, the conditioning that everybody's expecting from a man to be always the leader, always on top of everything, and never show any fear, insecurity. And this is causing to the modern man a lot of troubles, mainly depression, identity crisis. So we are facing, it's very interesting, Navim, the man that you're looking at me, all the audience, this guy with this thick Italian accent, is exactly a man of 4, 5, 6,000 years ago. What is different that, as you can see, we communicate from India and Malaysia through a beautiful screen. We have cars, we got everything. But what we are missing is going back to the origin, to the nature of every human being. So to make it short, the modern man is a man with the big struggles, mainly physical, emotional, and mental. And let me say something very important. Women have been doing a way better job than men when it comes to acknowledge what's going within. And they're very good on being vulnerable with other women. Yeah. Men, for the fact that we are so afraid to be judged as weak, we do not share. So we keep pushing down, bottling down until the point that we're going to explode. And in order not to explode, what the modern man does, he numbs himself. Could be porn, could be drugs, could be alcohol, could be cheating the wife, could be overeating, could be overworking out at the gym. Any ways to not to be with ourselves and with the pain. So the modern man is struggling, really struggling to deal with the pain. And therefore, there is a lot of men, unfortunately, if you check on data, worldwide, one of the first causes worldwide of male death is suicide, because men, they get to a point, they have no way back and they kill themselves.
Awesome. And Mauri, I'm curious, like, why did you start working on men's issues and what actually triggered or what sparked your interest in this segment?
Fun enough, life, Navim, at times we don't acknowledge that everything happens at the right time, in the right place, with the right people. It was a kind of a journey. Since I was 20, everyone in different places where I've been living, everybody told me, Mauri, you will be a great coach. You will be a great leader. You will be, but I never wanted to accepting it, because coming from a middle-class family with a lot of limiting beliefs about money, I wanted to prove myself that I was the only one making money. So I was trying to figure it out through investments, cryptocurrencies, big deals, how to make money. And I never acknowledged that my gift is to gather people, to lead people, to heal people, to support, which actually I don't do anything, it comes always from above. So long story short, fun enough, a woman, once a good friend of mine, Brazilian, beautiful woman living in Kuala Lumpur, told me, Mauri, have you ever considered to facilitate a men's circle? So boom, that dropped in my heart. I say, what is that? I start to research. I say, wow, I can do it. And it started as an experiment. We started in 6 guys, then become 8 guys. At the moment in Kuala Lumpur, we have 3 big communities. There are about 400 men involved. And it's one of the most beautiful, unbelievable, incredible experience that life is giving me, is offering me.
Wonderful, wonderful. And let's move to the next one. So please explain to us what men's work entails and why it is essential for men's mental health.
Oh, yes. Men's work are those activities all related and targeting men, mental health, physical well-being, and emotional well-being. And we do translate men's work through one-on-one coaching or mentoring. We are creating men's circles, means it's so powerful. Men's circles, we gather once a month in Kuala Lumpur, the capital, and in Penang, a city up north in the country. And we share, better said, my duty is to create a safe space. When a man experiences a safe space that he does not feel judged, opens up. So through the powerful sharing of each one of us, of our life stories and how we perceive life, how we tackle certain topics, we share. And it's incredible. The power is a very ancestral thing. Our ancestors, they used to do that, but we forgot about it. So my duty is to bring it back. And it's very healing, because when a man feels safe, he's open to let go of the burdens, and he realizes that he's not the only one going through the same problem. And when two men understand that doesn't matter the skin color, the God you believe, your accent, your diet, your body language, you are exactly the same, then you create empathy. So there is no more the illusion of separation between men, because as men we live in a world of separation. We don't share, we don't talk to men. It's all good, but we never share. So a men's circle facilitates within a tribe the individual journey of every single man. I'll give an example for the audience. The last topic was behind every mask there is a man. Behind every man there is a story. Every man, and I know you too and me too, we use a lot of masks with the colleagues, another mask with the wife, another one. Okay. So it's to understand where that mask is coming from. What is the beliefs that create that mask? And once a man understands, because my father used to tell me this, or my mother, when a man understands why he behaves in a certain way, then the magics happen. Because once you are self-aware and you know thyself, you know yourself, then you can change your life. You don't need special pills, you don't need beers, you don't need porn, you don't need nothing. You just go within, process, understand, and you change direction. So it's a beautiful journey that started 2 years ago, as I said, as an experiment, and became an experience.
I love the way you put it. Experiment becoming an experience. Amazing. So, Mauri, can you also share some of the silent challenges men face, and why do men still feel unable to share their struggles? What stops them from sharing these struggles?
Absolutely. Number one, conditioning. Conditioning are all, conditioning is under the umbrella of conditioning, again, is the education, the household we've been born, what my mother, actually our mothers or father says, or the grandfather, grandmother, is the way that we've been growing up as a kid. For example, even physically, if we were short and skinny, we were bullied, we have a kind of personality. If we were big and tall, maybe we were the one bully others. So the identity is the belief system. It means that each one of us, according to the journey, the traumas, the success, the experiences we have been through so far until today, we have a belief system. A belief system is like having spectacles. It's the way we perceive reality. You know, Dianavim, reality itself, it does not exist. It's a bunch of data. And therefore, you and me, we go to the movie, you love that movie, I don't like it. And we are watching the same movie because we have different belief systems. So the work that the men are struggling to do is to be self-aware, to acknowledge what is going on within. The modern man, due to the conditioning, as we said, he looks constantly for self-validation. For self-validation means I am enough, I am doing enough, and I have enough, always outside of himself. When I buy the latest Mercedes, then I'm a man. When I have $1 million in my bank account, then I am a man. So we are never enough because we're constantly chasing to please people that we might don't like, but because the society says that you have to be like that, then the suffering comes. Because each single man is suffering. Either they show it or either they don't. So we always say during our men's circles, there is an empowered man and a disempowered man. Empowered man means a man which is self-aware, which is able to acknowledge his own shadows, which is able to acknowledge his own limiting beliefs. Because only then, when you are able to accept yourself fully 100%, then you can make a change. If not, you will spend your life constantly projecting your suffering, maybe to your wife, judging her, maybe to your kids, to your boss, to the government, to the weather.
No, it is clear. Actually, it is the things started unfolding for me as you speak, right? Many times we tend to overlook all those things and we never treat that as if it is a problem as such, right? Okay, so let's move forward. And you guys are organizing these men's circles and retreats, right? So I would like to understand how these are going to support those looking to live with less frustration and pain.
You said another thing, men's circles. Once a month, we gather usually in a nice space in Kuala Lumpur City Center. Pure inner work. Men's retreat, we go 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 days in the forest just outside Kuala Lumpur, and we gather together. And it's so powerful because, again, during the men's retreat, we do the sharing session. We set goals individually, as a tribe, as a community, and then we have activities, body workout, archery for mindfulness, cold plunges, jump into the cold water for 3 minutes, 0 degrees, to to be okay with the discomfort. And those activities as men's retreat or men's circles simply opens incredible doors to men. Number one, to reject the syndrome of the lone wolf. I am the only hero in my journey. Nobody understands me. I'm the only one suffering. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, it's a place where men, we cheers the success. Just to give you a demographic of the attendees, from 18 years of age, 18, until 75, foreigners and Malaysians. There is no discrimination, any kind of form, religion, anything is absolutely inclusive. Every man, when he comes, we don't fix anything. We just support men to be more self-loving, self-accepting, and consequently, when a man becomes more compassionate within himself, more self-loving with himself, becomes a way better father, a way better husband, a way better businessman, because he knows how to manage himself without the need of looking for validation outside himself.
Amazing, amazing. I wish those kind of circles and retreats happen in India very soon, and I'm looking forward to it, Mauri.
We
And,
can organize it, man. We can. If some of the audience is interested, you can. You can leave my mail. We can discuss.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let's move forward. Like, I would like to understand some transformative experiences that you have witnessed among men who participate in men's circles. Any success story that you like to share?
I can tell you millions of them, especially the one that are very committed. Very touching stories that some of them I cannot share because it's personal. But I would summarize it. Men are very grateful because they release a lot of self-judgment. They release a lot of fears, insecurities of not being enough. It's freedom. It's freedom. They start to go to the gym. They start to take care of themselves. They start to prioritize their health. In every single man, when you talk about self-love, every single man immediately processes it and says, wow, if I love myself, am I selfish? Because it's so ingrained, the idea that you constantly as a man have to provide, getting out from the equation, just you have to give out all yourself. And men do not understand that if they don't have their own cup full of energy and self-love and compassion for themselves, they will never be good fathers because they don't have the energy and either the love to give to the kids. So self-love for a man is so important, and it does not mean that a man becomes selfish and say, okay, the family, bye-bye. No, it's simply getting some time for himself, spoiling himself, pampering himself. Could be just go within, as we always said, and accept the way that you are, because there is a lot of pressure from outside, from the society, and we never feel enough. So this gap we fulfill with a lot of self-judgment and pain and suffering, but we don't show it. So it's a crazy process, which is really destroying a lot of men, unfortunately.
Wonderful. Great to know those stories. And let's move to the next one. So, Mauri, what advice would you give men striving for an authentic life free from the fear of judgment or failure?
Okay, everything starts with self-awareness. So one of the most powerful things that I've seen that is helping men is starting paying attention to the way that they talk to themselves, the inner chat. 99.9% of the men, maybe 100, they do realize immediately how mean, how harsh, they are their own best enemies. And it's so your life or your behavior or your identity, to do crazy things. So number one, pay attention the way you talk to yourself. Without thinking in a mean, harsh way, you reframe it. You start to be more nice and gentle with yourself. And incredibly, things start to change. If the audience wants to try, could be a woman as well, doesn't need to be a man. Just give yourself the opportunity, allow yourself to pay attention the way you talk to yourself. And once you are very much aware how harsh you are with yourself, simply reframe. When you talk bad, you start to talk nicely to you. And you will see with your partners, with your kids, with your colleagues, how you're going to be more gentle, how you're going to be more compassionate. And that's going to trigger a lot of changing in your life.
Amazing. And this has been an incredible conversation and so far, and it's time for us to add some more fun and some more excitement to the episode. If you're ready, let's get the second rapid fire round on.
Hello, I'm Steve Ahern, one of the judges of the Asia Podcast Awards. I'm interrupting this episode to let you know that you're listening to an award-winning podcast. This podcast won its category in the 2024 Podcast Awards, so you know you're listening to quality. Enjoy your listening experience, and congratulations to the team who created this award-winning podcast for you.
Okay, here comes the first bullet. If you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
Ubuntu. Okay, this is a quote from the Zulu, a tribe from
Mm.
Africa. It says,
Yeah,
Ubuntu, I am because we are. And
I
it's
am.
addressed to humanity,
Mm.
oneness. There is
Mm.
no separation. There
Mm.
is no separation. This is like a dress. This life, I'm an Italian guy. You are an Indian man. It's just a dress. We are the same. We come from the same, and we're
Mm.
going to go back to the same. As soon as we realize that, there are no more enemies. There are no more challenges.
Yeah.
The only thing that is stopping us to believe that there is no separation are again conditioning, fear, self-judgment. Therefore, I keep repeating in this interview, it's all about self-awareness, because when you do the work within, all enemies disappear. Everything
Yeah.
disappears.
Yeah.
Totally. It's just a journey of, that to be enjoyed.
Got it. And can you describe yourself in just one word?
Oneness.
And one trait every modern man should cultivate.
Masculinity. Fully embrace the masculinity and authenticity. Authenticity means being true to himself, being
Yeah.
honest, brutally honest, and true to himself.
What is the biggest misconception about men's work?
That is for weak men. It's a work for weak men. This is like, I love it, Yeah, many men, they told me, I don't need it. I don't need it. Then, you talk to them, are the one in depression, abusing drugs, they do crazy stuff, but they say to me, I don't need it. This is for weak men.
And a book that transformed your life.
That's a difficult one. I would say the first come up in my mind. It's a beautiful book written by Ryan Holiday. The obstacle is the way.
Awesome. And what is the best advice you have ever received?
Wow, it's I got so many mentors. I would say life is about serving.
Superb. And Mauri, how do you recharge after a long week?
Me lately, I do a lot of. I have a quite. I'm in a stage of life which is beautiful. I'm 47, super healthy, thanks God, and I have good relationships, and even my demons to do the inner work. I start to deal with them without fear anymore. So I unplug, because I almost work 7 days out of 7. I unplug with a good massage, receiving a good massage, do some breath work, go to the nature, and try as much as possible to be present in the moment. And breathing, in India you do prana. Prana, it's
Pranayama.
that's what helps me.
Yeah, got it.
Pranayama.
All right, here comes the last one for the second rapid fire round. What is one electronic gadget or a fantasy gadget that you like to see or invent yourself?
Maybe a watch that you wear that it guides you, it guides you to spot your fears and process them and let them go.
I love it. And that was a great second rapid fire round. Let's be back to the mainstream. And here comes my last but one question. So, Mauri, how can men worldwide step into a more fulfilled and less isolated life? And what small steps can they start with?
Number one, look for other men, create your own group. And to create your own group of men means finding men that as you, they are looking to improve the quality of life. And the first step to find this man is when you find a fellow man and you know that your energy is compatible with him, whatever the name is, say, let's call him Mark for the sake of this example. Hey, Mark, how are you? If Mark replies to you, I'm all right. You look at him again into the eyes and ask, Mark, how are you? You hold the space for that man. And I can promise you that if that man feels safe, he will open up. So when two men open up one another, sharing, then you start to create brotherhood. Brotherhood is when you have a brother. So start to be surrounded and look for them. Trust me, there are so many of them. But the point is, everybody's hiding. Look for men that as you are looking and willing to improve your quality of life, to be more fulfilled by the emotions, to be more empowered and authentic. So find your tribe. That's number one. And when you find your tribe, you have to be courageous enough without excuses that you don't have time to nourishing the relationship, having activities together, go walk in the park together, go to the gym together, play football together, but create those moments only for you. So a man must to seek solitude, not being alone. Solitude means being okay to be with himself and do the work by himself and with the brothers around. So that will be already a great step to take.
Very simple and powerful tip. And Mauri, I enjoyed this great conversation. It was an enlightening one, and definitely look forward to featuring you again in future and cover some more interesting topics. And it's been pleasure talking to you. And how is your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice podcast?
Well, Naveen, look, when I open the screen and I see your big, nice face shining, I say to God, how cool is this? For some reason, You from India, me Italian living in Malaysia, we got connected. And it's beautiful, man. Again, you are amazing, man. You're doing a great work. I just wish you, even though I don't know you much, but I wish you all the best for whatever plans you have in your life. So I feel great gratitude, to be honest, to experience this from life. It's just amazing, man.
All right. Thank you so much. And let's stay in touch. And folks, that was our episode with Maurizio Rosini. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request. If you have enjoyed the conversation and found it useful, please share with at least 3 of your friends or colleagues who would also like TGV, the guiding voice. So spread the knowledge and help others grow just like you have been growing with the TGV. Alright, now it's time for us to cruise into the trivia segment of today's episode. And today's trivia is about 2 lesser known facts but thought-provoking aspects of men's rights activism. In fact, we are doing this kind of episode for the very first time in our English channel. However, we have done similar episode in Hindi, which was a huge hit, and we have featured Nandini Bhattacharjee from Kolkata, India. And however, I thought I would present you 2 lesser known facts about men's rights activism. And here comes the first one. Men's health disparities. Men's rights advocates have highlighted disparities in healthcare, noting that men tend to have higher rates of workplace fatalities, suicide, and homelessness. And they argue that society could better address men's specific mental and physical health needs. Second is family court inequities. Activists often focus on family law, particularly around custody rights, and they argue that traditional gender roles in custody rulings can lead to biases against fathers, impacting their involvement in children's lives. So that's it from the trivia perspective. Folks, I would love to hear from you. If you know any men's right activists, or if you know any best practices in terms of improving masculinity, especially men's health, do let me know. I would love to hear from you. If you're watching this episode on YouTube, you can comment there, or if you found this episode on some social media or audio platforms, you can comment there as well. I would love to read what you say. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and also for being part of our awesome TGV family. So until next time, take care, stay inspired, and remember, the best is yet to come. Goodbye for now. See you all in the next episode with another amazing guest. Take care. Love you all. Bye bye.